And it's lights out and away we go here in Formula Sundays. Through the final chicane and the AlphaTauri hits the wall of champions.
Evening, everybody. We are starting slightly earlier than usual, but we are back for, I think, round 5. I can't remember at this point.
It's round
Numbers
7,
aren't my strong
actually.
suit. 7? Oh,
Yeah.
no, near the end of the season. Back round 7 with Austria. I know the track for sure. And as you'd have heard, joining me is not the famous Dumato. He is taking an undeserved break.
Undeserved.
How dare he?
Yeah,
how dare he go on
he
break?
stream and
So,
cast 7 races in a row.
Awful behaviour. So joining me is last season's Elite Tier champion and title contender, Seagull.
And wash driver, apparently, according to half the people on the grid. Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
No rain. That's a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah.
We're finally having the drivers come out the pits, and it is the Mercedes boys. Oh, it is not the Mercedes boys. There have been some teleporting cars. Brand new upgrades this year. Cars can teleport now.
Oh, but if only they could use that in real life, they wouldn't be stuck in SQ2. But the Mercedes here, obviously DJ and Den, a well-known duo. I've put them around mid-table anyway, so quite similar to real life actually. And we got some obviously reserve drivers that we haven't seen this season in Ryan. He's been for the OGs here. He's been around a good few seasons, but hasn't raced the past few, so he's back racing Austria this weekend. We've got obviously Yeast, the winner of last weekend's race, I believe. I didn't watch Challenger, but I believe he won in Japan last out. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be a very interesting qualifying, to say the least.
Yeah. Who do you have your bets on? I personally would love to see a Yeast pole, but being the realist that I am, I think it would be tight between him and Ranjo. I don't know how much practice that either of them have done, but I think either Ranjo will be miles ahead, as he was in the last few races, or finally he'll have some competition.
Hopefully he has some competition. We do like a challenger tier with some competition, as the first hot lap is started by Ocean here, someone who I'd put relatively near the front in qualifying, but due to his lack of starting, he finds himself normally falling to just outside the points range, and he'll be looking to set a good lap. So he does have some position to lose by not getting off the start, but he takes it very nicely through turn 3. I forgot I've not got all the details set up already that I need, so I was just like, what's his time in Sector 1? But he will be approaching some back market traffic here in an Alfa Romeo and a Williams of Wirelman as well. I don't know if we've seen him this season, but 45-2 Sector 2. It's looking like a good time. I reckon Challenger pole, you're going to be looking at about a 104, mids, 104s.
Really?
I reckon potentially someone on the closer side to of a 104, but I don't think we'll be getting into the 103s. Ocean sets the benchmark a 104.6.
And you shut me up immediately, so you're right.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I said that would be pole here. Nitro to the line, or Den to the line, sorry, 105. Nitro did invalidate his lap, so there'll be nothing for him yet. DJ comes across as well for a 104.9. All the drivers on a lap now as Yeast drives it to the line. It's going to be a 104.7, slots in behind Ocean, who's had a very good start. Kurabold, yeah, he's proven me wrong. A 104.1 as his banker lap. That is certainly impressive, and it's 5 tenths ahead.
Yeah, Austria is one of those laps, or one of those tracks, sorry, that you really don't have much to gain. I think, as we were saying in practice earlier, as an inside joke, there are only 4 corners on this track. I mean, if you count them, there are more than that, but, you know, really, there's 4 straights if you can count them, and really only a couple of places where you can make much of a difference. So the times, I think, will be incredibly close.
Yeah, and Ranjo has gone closer to Kurabold within a tenth. But yeah, you did say that is but depends on exits as well. But there's only really 4 turns where people will make big gains here, saying that the gap between pole and Astral in 13th at the minute is almost 2.5 seconds.
Oof.
So those 4 turns definitely proving a lot at the minute. But yeah, the top 3 looking to set aside their pace with even a surprise Martin in there.
Yeah, and I think Wes has just set the fastest Sector 1, so he's on a fly right now. Not the fastest Sector 2, so a bit more to improve on for his next lap, but he has got the benefit of track evolution coming from the back. Oh, there's a lot of traffic in the way. Will he get impeded?
No.
No, he will not. So
that's good. That's good going for Challenger.
Yeah, surprised me.
Oh. Yeah, I thought there was going to be some contrast.
Reading the chat, we are not a big fan of the government.
Yeah, that's what I mean, Yeast is listening to a song that is I'm not a big fan of the government at the minute. That is literally ringing through his ears as he sits in P5 in the Ferrari, the only Ferrari out on track today. I honestly can't remember who Yeast's teammate is meant to be. This is awful.
I think it is Lewis or Crush.
Lewis.
Yeah.
I think that's it. As the AlphaTauri of, I believe, Nitro comes out again. DJ, I think, on his second flying lap here, he's going to be, I think, the next person to go on their lap. So I'm going to ride on board with him, see what he can do from 8th on the grid. Only about a 10th off 6th place in Deddy and potentially 5th of Yeast. So it shows the small improvements can move you up a lot of positions. As you previously mentioned, it's 4 corners and it all starts, I think, here with turn 1 down to 4th through here, and it looks
a bit wobbly.
Yeah, wobbly, and I think that's
he's backed out. I think.
Yeah, that's going to be the lap.
Nope,
abandoned.
I'm lying. He hasn't backed out.
No, he has. No, he definitely has. 1.4 down in the first sector. He's backed out of it.
I'm lying again. He has backed out.
And he's spun. Yeah, if he hadn't backed out of it then, he definitely has now. As instead, I'm going to ride on board with the other Mercedes of Den, who started his lap. Only 400ths behind. Let's see if he can do it. He goes down to 3rd instead and keeps it on track. A nice exit as well for him out of the first turn. He'll be looking for those improvements and the Alfa Romeo to get out of his way, which he does. And he's a 10th up going in. Keep that improvement for the rest of the lap. He goes up 2 positions. But obviously, he'll be looking for more than that. He'll be looking for a strong points finish. Finish, perhaps. Finesse, maybe. He could finesse some points.
Yeah, but, and luckily, it seems that the traffic at the end of Sector 2, at the start of Sector 1, will get out of the way. We have had a disconnect. I will.
That's fine.
Invite.
Yeah. Then comes round Sector 2. Still got that 10th up. He lost about, I'd say, half a 10th. Going through Sector 2, but it's still improvement, and I'm sure it will be giving him confidence going into it. I will flip over to Ocean in a minute, who is on his lap as well, see what improvements and what edge he's giving to Martin, and then to the line. He goes P4. Big
Mr.
improvement.
Junior has been disqualified for blocking the pit lane. So as much as a good lap that was for Den, misery for Mr. He's starting from the back. Oh no.
You hate to see it. An Ocean not improving on his time. Astral, who I know can go a lot quicker for a fact. I've seen some of his qualifying times. I know that he's got more pace than a 106.5, and I know he will want to be looking somewhere around that midfield pack of a 104.9 here. So get to the end of Sector 2, and he's a second up. But
purple Sector 2.
11th. I'm doubting Astral would get a purple sector.
That's what I said.
You never know. You never know. He could be just have cooked.
Hey! Don't doubt my man. He's gonna
put it on pole.
Yep. Just watch. No, it's not pole, but P12.
It's P12.
Respectable.
That's good improvement.
It's definitely not a 106, so you know. Astral better move his ass. You're right. But he will get to the pits and he will get another go. So it's not over yet.
More than who should I flip to now? I'm going to go to Flavio, who I'm surprised is in P10. He's another driver that's been contended near the front. A new driver. Oh, okay. No, we're going to flip off him.
Great.
Right. I'm gonna not praise anyone, because that's 2 drivers I've praised now, and they've binned it straight into the wall. Ryan to the line. He was little improvement and it's not going to be improvement. He sits at a 106 still with Wirral Man, the only two in the session. But Nitro hasn't set a lap yet. He's invalidated his second
Oh, disaster!
flying lap. What surely at one point he has to think, let's stop pushing the car to the limits and let's just get a lap on the board.
Yeah, but even on your second attempt, you really want to get a lap in. You don't want to be pushing as hard as you would for your final attempt. Just something to get you on the board. As we have Wirraman, he's on his lap right now. Didn't see if it was a good sector in the first sector. He has quite a bit of traffic ahead of him, but they seem to be getting out of the way nicely. Comes into, I don't remember the turn number, but it's turn number 4, I believe.
Randro's back, thank God.
Randro has joined back, so he won't be... he will be continuing.
That's good. So I wonder what Wirraman's improvement is after
it is 5 temps. That's quite... that will put him...
Good. No, that's good. I'll put him P12, I reckon. If he gets, if he can force a bit more improvement out of the car, push it to the limit, which he looks. Yeah, he's got it. Kept it on track as well. Dash to the line now. It's gonna be P11. He gets an extra 5 tenths in that final sector. Oh, and there's some pace. And DJ, the shock of the lot, goes to P4 here. What a lap from him, and it sets him. It sets him amongst Ocean and Martin here. What a lap.
I was watching Glenn on his second attempt, and it seems that he's lost it. Oh, the commentator curse.
How about we don't watch anyone?
Yeah, let's just turn the stream off.
Turn the stream off. Stop giving the pressure.
I'm interested how Martin will, because he's pretty high up there. And I don't know if he's done a second lap yet, so this could be a good improvement for him.
He hasn't, no. Not that I know of, at least. But he needs a 4/10 improvement to get him to pole position. I don't know if Kurabold has gone out for his second lap yet or not. But someone I'm still wanting to see a time for, again, I mentioned it, is Nitro on his third out lap. And surely, Seagull, he just puts a lap on the board this time.
Well, he doesn't have many more chances, that's for sure. It is a short track, so even if you do mess up a lap, you do have time to get back to the pits, stick a new set of tyres on, and then get out, do your lap. But he is cutting it close if he's doing a lap right now.
Does he have any new tyres as well?
Most likely not. This is his third run. So unless he's took a U set for his last run, no.
Yeah. So I'm going to stick on board with him, hoping he can get a lap in, as it's... he keeps it on track for the first bit. You can invalidate your next lap on that final corner. And here we go. We're off with the first lap. Can he get through turn 1, the big one? Yes, he can. I think that's where he's invalidated the past few laps. So it's a good sign that he's got past that now. It's going to be a first sector of a 1:16.1. That's a pretty good... That's a 10th, I think, off my time trial time. So it's a good start for him. But can he keep that all the way through the line? As a burst down the second straight. He is behind Martin and doesn't have much traffic in the way. So he does have everything clean ahead of him. Is he keep all I think he needs to do is keep it on track and get a lap around the top 8. Set his stamp and then go back in the pits and set another lap here. As we go through sector 2, it's a 45.0. I don't know how that compares.
Purple sector 2, it just popped up on my screen, and just looking at the times, I think he will have time. You know, like I said before, Austria, he will have to send it on his in lap and then send it on his out lap. But I think you can leave the pits.
Oh, he's kept it on. Here we go to the line. And
P4, that's respectable.
P4, that's very good. And Martin gets a 10th improvement as well. Puts him closer to Randro here, as I'm going to swap to the Mercedes of Den, who's 3 tenths up going to the line. This could be big for him. And he drops a little bit, and he does go just behind his teammate there, but I don't know if he'll get another lap in. Someone, again, I talked about was Flavio, who seems to have backed off a lap. And we're going to go back to Astral, who's a 10th down in the first sector. The AlphaTauri moves out of the way, and so does the Red Bull here. A bit on the wrong side of the track for me, but who knows, it could work for him. But yeah, it'd be very interesting. I'm more curious, though, if Randro can take pole.
Not only that, I am also interested to see if anyone can really challenge him. Yeast, at the moment, I think, is out of position for what I would expect anyway, but then, you know, what do I expect? Astral's the 10th
Yeah.
up. I don't know if my game's glitched, but it's telling me that it's a purple sector 2 every time he goes around. So I don't know if he's just
Astral is
ripping
not
it up out
cooking.
there. Or no, the game's saying he's cooking, so let him have it.
The game does say that.
But let's have a look. So let's see if it is just a 10th improvement. And it was 4/10 improvement, but that's not enough to bump it up anywhere on the standings.
Behind Flavio though, who is invalidated though, so he might have to dart into the pits here and rush back out, which isn't ideal, especially as his teammate has just gone into the pit lane.
Oh, so that'll slow him down.
Flavio might be out of position. Don't tell me he's going to the line.
He's going to the line.
So maybe he's going for another lap here.
He has full battery. It looks like he's going to go for another lap.
He's going again. So Flavio, I think the most out of position driver on the grid at the moment, down to 4 through turn 1, keeps it on the road. I think that's the most important thing for any driver that's out of position at the moment, is to keep it on the track. And well, it's a 10th up through sector 1. You can't really gain much, I say, through sector 1, so I think a 10th is good enough. The big gain, I think, comes more in sector 2 than anything. So it'd be very interesting to see what he can do.
You can gain a lot on this corner. It depends how wide he goes. He goes to the curb, but you can actually go on that green bit of curb just before the gravel. But you really have to be careful because it is so easy to spin, especially in the race. Comes through the end of... Oh, that's a 4/10 improvement. At the moment, that will not be enough for pole, but that will be enough to put him up near the Mercedes, I'd say.
It will. And Ocean and Den both come to the line with no improvement on their last times. So as drivers start their final laps here, or end in Flavio's case, to the line we go.
P4!
And it's up to P4!
Oh!
Here's how close it is out there. 4/10 gets him up to P4, and I'd say that's a respectable time for him.
That's definitely respectable.
As Dengo beats it immediately.
P4.
It's P4. I'm curious, Kurabold is slightly up on his time as well. So can he nail sector 3 here and push himself further away from the midfield pack? To the line we go, and it's a 103.9. Oh,
I was not expecting them to get into the 103s in Challenger.
Either. That's going to take some beating as well, I think. I don't think, unless Randro or Martin is going to beat that, I don't think anyone else on the grid is going to have that pace to beat at that time. That's an astounding lap time.
There is one hell of a queue.
Oh yeah,
at the top of the track. I think there's a Haas coming through. I think is it dead? Ah, he's on an outlap. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So the only thing is that the cautions don't show how much time is left. Oh, about a minute. Okay, a minute 10. So all these drivers, in theory, should get to the line, with the one at the back being, is it Nitro or Ocean? I assume it's Nitro, if I can find Nitro. It is Nitro. He's going to come into all that traffic on his lap. And there's a spun McLaren, probably Astral. It is Astral. That wasn't hate. That was just a good guess. Nitro. Yeah, that was just a fact. Nitro slightly up on his time. It's not going to be much improvement. Could be enough, though, to get him ahead of Flavio at the moment, as he's going to hope these not the back markers, hope these cars starting their laps get out of the way, and they do. 33 seconds, they're all going to make it to the line here. And Nitro going to floor it to the line. Can he get above Flavio?
Oh, no, it's not an improvement. 2/10 off.
Drops those 2/10 in those last few laps. Any driver specifically you want to ride on board here with their final
definitely
laps,
Randro. He's the one I put my money on to be able to...
2/10.
If you can watch Yeast and tell me how he's doing.
Yes.
Randro, he's a 10th down at the moment, or just about a 10th down, so he really needs to nail the next sector. There's not a lot of traffic, it seems. Everyone's on a lap, everyone's going, no one spun, no one died, if anyone remembers that from Australia, sorry, in season 12.
Yeast is about to complete sector 2, and he's not up at all. He's dead equal with his sector 2 time. So who knows? Martin slightly improves to the line. There's a Mercedes coming to the line, and there's going to be no improvement for DJ.
Randro's 2/10 down. It's not enough so far. He really needs to find something.
P3. Glenn gets P3. Yeast goes to P4, to P9, 2/10 improvement. Ryan improves, but not enough to go ahead. Deddy to the line now. No improvement either.
And finally, Randro. Has he done it?
No.
He has not. He's slightly down on his time. Purple sector 3, so he was really pushing. And that's it.
He was. He was, and well, there you go. Oh, what a qualifying session. But it's Kurabold that is going to be the boldest of the drivers.
Oh,
there.
I like that. I like that.
To take pole position by 2/10, and we have Randro in P2. Glenn, who came out of nowhere.
You can see how close it was between P2 and P3, and then further down, just between Nitro and DJ as well. And even they're all within 1 or 2 tenths.
I'd say Flavio to Ocean. Flavio to Ocean, you could have one little good lap, and that's the gap, 6th to 11th. So, yeah, all over the place. Obviously, Mr. Genya DSQ'd at the back of the field. He'll be looking to make gains at the start. So, big lap from him. But qualifying is a different game compared to the race. In the race, you've got to manage the tyres as efficiently as you can. And it'll be interesting to see, can Kurabo break away on a track where the famous Seagull and Jimsky have complained that you can't break away?
I don't remember complaining, but if you say so.
You did, in practice. In the practice race. You said it's impossible to break away. Don't want to hear any Kingsman slander. That happens in the race. Rightfully so.
Right. I don't really know how this is going to go because turn 1, from experience, can be a bit messy. There is a lot of runoff on the left, so we can see if anyone gets yeeted to that side, but anyone diving to the inside is likely going to crash.
Oh well, and I don't want to hate on Challenger drivers, but it's Challenger. They are a little bit more reckless, I'd say, than Elite. It's better than it's been in previous seasons. I'll give it that for sure. But I don't discount an Astral dive or a dive from one of the drivers starting more towards the back of the grid. And well, yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's also a long run up to turn 2, which is technically turn 3. So we'll see if these guys can keep it clean, not crash, but from lots of experience of watching these races in the past, I don't hold any hope. And that's not to say that these guys are bad, it's just this kind of track where you have 2 very large braking zones. It can just cause a lot of chaos.
Well, yes, that is true. But in terms of tyres, Gurabold actually starting on the medium compound instead of the softs. I didn't realise it was 25 laps as well. Oh, that is some distance. I'm not looking forward to... Oh, yeah, it's Elite. It's about 35, isn't it?
Yeah, 36, so, I think.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. But yeah, Gurabold on the mediums, then Randro through to Nitro on the soft. DJ on the hards, a tyre I never thought I'd see in this sort of race. Yeast then on the soft, surrounded by Wiro to Deddy on the mediums, and those back 4 all starting on the soft. So I think if you're going to have any action, it's going to be between Randro and Gurabold into turn 1, because Randro will have more grip off the line.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm tripping, but I saw a graphic come up saying that the optimum tyre strategy is hard to mediums. What?
Yeah, hard. They do not trust...
No way that is the true optimum strategy.
They do not trust the soft runners.
Do the softs really not last that long, even on...
No, I think they
distance?
I think they last about 8 laps, and then the mediums are questionable. So I'm expecting some soft to hard runners, probably Astral and those at the back that won't have much to lose. But it's very bunched up from DJ. DJ not following within the 10 car length.
I see Doom in the chat is saying that he senses a safety car into turn 1, and then Fanta says turn 3. So, you know, that was also my prediction. It's going to be one of them. Will it be a full safety car? I don't know, but someone...
And who's going to be the big loser? That's my question to you. Who's going to lose the most time or positions, or even not be in the race come the end of this?
You know what? I'm going to go bold. I'm going to say it's going to be Gurabold.
Ah, I see what you did there. Oh, what is this view I've got? Have you got like a really aerial outside view? Yep. Oh, yes. We get to see everything that's happening. I might have to go on board with someone. Is this broadcast camera? Oh,
Flavio gets a jump start. Oh.
But we are away here, and through to turn 1 we go. Randro already getting the jump on Gurabold, and it looks to all be okay through turn 1. No one dying immediately. So it's a brilliant start in terms of
time yet. Here he comes.
There's time to turn 3. Here comes Gurabold again. Dive down the inside, and so does
Martin going for it.
Big move, and there we go. There's a Aston Martin spun around. Bit of wing damage, but nothing too serious. The big loser, Flavio, who has half a front wing now and a drive-through penalty. So we were massively wrong about that. Kurabold, though, maintaining the lead. Martin and Glenn currently side by side as they jostle for the last podium position. And it's still going side by side. This is really impressive. But Glenn
has to give it up
around the outside. And Martin has to drop down. And Nitro also gets past DJ, who will be a sitting duck on these opening laps.
Yeast has made position, so that's a good sign for him for his championship charge. I don't know if I think we did calculate that he still can win the championship. He needs Randro to lose every single race, or not score in every single race. He needs to win and get fastest lap every single race. I don't know if you think that's possible, but
nope.
It's not looking like that so far.
No, it isn't, with Yeast sat down in P7 and Nitro about a second off of Den, but Yeast is going for the move here.
Martin's going for it too.
Round the outside from Yeast, and he gets it done. So does Martin. 2 successful moves, but Glenn is fighting this back here.
They're still side by side.
And Glenn is going to get back past. Some brilliant racing up the front and at the back in these first few laps. But Flavio goes onto the hard compound, and I think he will still have to serve.
Oh, they're 3 wide down at the back. Mr. Ginez made up so many places in P9. What a move!
Yeah, he is on a mission. He's a Canadian man on a mission at the moment. As
the there's been contacts between DJ and Ocean.
Yeah.
Oh, they managed to keep it though.
Yeah, I think DJ regretting the tyre choice now as Ocean gets past him for the last points position, and Randro still behind Kurabold. He will have the DRS this lap, and he'll be looking for a move down into turn 3 as he pulls out very early. Actually, he doesn't even wait to the braking zone. We have a new leader, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to be Randro who takes the lead, and Martin also getting back past Glenn. And well, I'm sure Kurabold will fight this back on the final straight, but he looks to be too far away here. Someone who won't be too far away, though, is Glenn, who looks for the same move onto Martin into turn 4, and he gets it done. Very nice move from him. But all the while these two are fighting and killing their battery, they're losing so much time to the two in front.
Yeah, the top 2 have managed to pull away, which I think we were saying in practice earlier on was really difficult to do when you have such close pace between the runners. He will be able to stay in DRS, and the key thing is he's on the mediums, so he will have the advantage late on in the race. Staying behind now is critical for Kurabold.
It is, and potentially not letting Glenn back into that 1 second as Randro sets another fast lap. Martin going for the move down into turn 1. He's already got it done, but he won't have the DRS for the next straight. Not much movement down the field as Ryan might be looking for a move onto Astra onto turn 1. No, he isn't. I think those two playing it more strategically together here as we're going to look. Kurabold 3 tenths back, and Nitro and Yeast scrapping away again. And Nitro gets round Yeast.
And there's been a crash!
There's contact between Yeast and Nitro. And Mr. Genya has benefited again. Up into P7. He's looking for the move into P6 here. Started from the back of the grid.
Oh, and he's hit the back of Yeast.
Oh my god. Mr. Genya
he makes the move. Push the pass.
Yeah, that is... Oh, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Yeast isn't going to be happy
either. He's going for it.
And
this is not going to end in happy. Oh.
Oh, and they keep it clean. A bit of wheel banging. Keeping it clean through here for now. Mr. Genya holds the position, but Yeast will definitely have DRS on the straight and will be fuming at the way that Mr. Genya has got past.
You know, that crash into turn 3, I think, was caused by the Aston Martin going a bit too deep. Goes past Yeast, hits Yeast, and that absolutely ruined his chances of getting a good exit.
Well, here comes the Aston Martin into turn 1. He gets the move done, but forces Mr. Genya
goes Yeast!
And through goes Yeast!
Oh, and he's been pushed onto the grass! Oh my lord!
Been pushed off. The Aston Martin still fighting this into turn 3. Brakes late, keeps it side by side, but Yeast will have the DRS. And more importantly, gets the move done. Martin also getting a move on to Glenn. But again, the Aston Martin's front wings must be very low as he goes to the move without the DRS. And my gosh, I don't know how he's managed to keep up. But we could be going 3 wide here. No, we aren't.
Oh, and Nitro's going for it as well.
So action-packed midfield. This is brilliant scenes. Nitro and Yeast side by side again. Yeast having that outside line now. And Nitro side by side. They're only a tenth off of each other, but the Aston Martin is pulling away, and there's a huge train behind this.
This is crazy.
Yeah, this is insane. Den is kind of on his own up front. But yeah, the top two broken away. Then the Martin and Glenn. And then from Ez down, you've got a massive train as Ryan and DJ fighting for position. Astral, I think Ryan forced off track as he loses 3 positions there. And Yeast is looking to make an impression now onto Ez as Martin and Glenn still swapping positions.
Oh, and there's... I think someone went off track completely there. I completely missed the braking zone. I think it was Nitro.
Yeah, it was
I'll
Nitro.
have to concede that.
8 seconds of time penalties, and more importantly, the lost time and places as Nitro falls all the way out of the points here. And well, that will certainly do Yeast a favour, who will look to challenge Ez now with about the same ERS. But Yeast will know that he cannot be losing this significant time, and Glenn has spun, or he's had contact with Martin, is in the gravel. He rejoined.
Oh no!
Oh no! And he rejoined straight into Ocean, and there's a VSC. Luckily for Ocean,
yeah, he can dive into the pits and just get that front wing changed.
Glenn gets a 5 seconds as Ryan dives in the pits as well for an early pit stop. This is a very early stop from him, and Ocean to replace his front wing.
You know, I just knew something was going to happen there. I just knew it.
I could sense it. My Kingsman senses were tingling.
You know, I saw the first 3 cars get through, and then he just kept going right. He just had to stay left and not rejoin like that, I think. We'll see what the refs say, but from our point of view, it's not looking good.
Don't spoil the verdict, Mr. Referee.
No further action.
As Ez has left, he's gone into the pits, but he's left the session.
Has he retired, or do we need to?
No, back? I think you have to invite him back. You need to get on that.
Oh no, we've had the glitch. No.
And Martin, it's not a drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC. So that is his race over, and Martin has spun.
Go look at Ez.
The wall.
His AI is stuck on turn 3. He can't move.
And who's the car coming up to him? It's going to be Ocean. Ez's race is inevitably over. But is that car ghosted? Is Ocean going to come around turn 3? And
that car
I think so.
is ghosted, I think. Yes, it is ghosted.
Yes, it is.
It is ghosted.
But that is going to be a jump scare for some people as Glenn comes into the pits. And Martin's spin, and he's going to serve his VSC. So, in the space of a few laps, Den takes the final podium spot, and Randro and Kurabold still going at it, but with an 8-second gap to Den in third. And Mr. Genya looks for a move on Yeast. Yeast going to hang it round the inside. He's got the DRS and the ERS to perform a move here, and he gets it done. Yeast is going to be chasing Den now. He knows he's got the pace advantage, but he's going to be wanting to make a move. He's going to want a podium minimum today after all the carnage with Martin and Glenn.
Yeah, it's such a shame with Ez. Wes, sorry. I don't have him added. I did say if you wanted to be re-invited, if you disconnect, you need to add me. I can't add you if I don't have you. So we'll see if he can find a way back into the lobby. It says he's in the pits, but he is ghosted. So if anyone's racing currently and listening, just drive through him. You won't take any damage, I hope.
I'm sure they've all realised that now, hopefully.
You'd hope so, but I did see a few cars going off.
Yeah,
we have had this glitch before, but it is, you know, classic Codemasters not to fix something that's been in the game for so long.
Of course. Why would they fix it? You actually think they'd be smart? What planet are you living on?
But this VSC has really made it so that everyone's so far apart. There were about 10 cars together in one part of the track fighting, and that's when, surprisingly, we didn't have any contact until Glenn rejoined. But at the moment, it's just the 3 of Yeast, Mr. Gignac, and DJ fighting for the 4th step. I don't know if there have been some pits, so I'm not sure what happened to the rest.
I think
of them.
It's more pits. Yeah.
I
think we had Martin, we had Ocean with his front wing damage, Glenn obviously diving, Deddy into the pits, and also Ryan and Nitro. So I think Nitro is leading that bunch that pitted. But I think if I'm not wrong, he has got a drive-through penalty now. It's a 3-second penalty. He served his 5 seconds in the pits under the VSC, which is very smart, actually.
And Randro's in the pits.
And Randro I wouldn't say an early pit stop, but his first pit stop onto the medium compound. Good first stint from him, but I think he would have wanted more to pull away, and Ryan in that final points position has got a time penalty. But more importantly for Randro, he comes out in completely clean air.
Yeah, this
he
is
will not
really
have to get through traffic in about a lap or two, and there's going to be no one behind him directly challenging. So he's got in a very good spot, and when he comes up, it's going to be that battle between DJ, Mr. Genya, and Yeast, and I assume the front two of those three would have pitted by the time he gets there. So this could have worked very well for Randro here as Mr. Genya goes wide, then looking for the move, and Mr. Genya, not knowing DJ was there, just punts into him, and this is Yeast's chance to get away and out of the DRS. Is he going to take it? I think he is, and his next mission is Den in net P3 as he burns some of the battery to try and make sure that 1 second's there, and he's got it, but I think he will be boxing.
Yep, Yeast is coming into the pits.
Yeast comes in, but Den, more importantly, stays out. The undercut has started from Yeast as Mr. Genya stays out as well. So, early pit stops. I thought all the soft runners would have pitted now as Astral is in as well.
Yeah, it's really
McLaren.
interesting to see what the degradation is like on those softs. I've not really had a chance to find out, so who knows?
I'd say about lap 9 or 10 is
9 or
optimum.
10 for, because I know that in the Codemaster games the tyre wear is dependent on the length of the session, right? So
yeah,
I'm not really sure. DJ, he's quite high up, but he is on the hards and yet has yet to pit. It seems that Randro, I don't know how good the undercut is on this track. You'd think
it's very
same
good.
Principle of it being not many places to gain. Surely there aren't many places to lose either. Even if you are on a one set of tyres.
I'd say it's more confidence as well, because when we did the practice race, I think it was worth about 2 seconds a lap. And that was on the hard compound, so the medium to the soft, especially new medium compared to Kurabold's old. It just depends how much Kurabold is pushing, and Randro will come onto the back of that traffic now. But Mr. Genya, luckily, has come into pits. So is DJ for what I has to think has to be a ridiculously early stop. And even his teammate on
he'll be on fresher tyres than Randro is, so if you think that's ridiculous, how's Randro going to make it work?
His teammate on the softs, though, has stayed out.
Oh,
so
that's
what I was expecting Den as the first Mercedes in, but no, he stayed out. Surely he's got to come in at this lap, and Yeast, showing the power of the undercut, comes in a lap earlier, and that gap between himself and DJ is sat at about 3 seconds now. So big undercut from Yeast here, and he's got to keep pushing because he's still got the undercut on Den, remember, who still hasn't pitted for his first stop. So, and he's left the session again. I didn't realise he joined.
I think he managed to. Yeah, someone in the chat. Yeah, fan said in the chat that he managed to join himself, but he can't take control of his car. Classic Codemasters ruining someone's race. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it.
Remember last time it happened in Austria, lost to someone else.
It sucks.
To a title contender last time.
Yeah.
I wonder who that title contender was.
You'll have to remind me because I can't remember.
Oh, can you actually not remember?
Genuinely can't remember.
I'm convinced it was you. I'm pretty sure you disconnected around this track and it wouldn't let you rejoin.
No. It was Spa. I think it was the same season.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm misthinking.
And Den's finally pitted.
Track. Yeah, he has, and he's come out way behind Yeast. He might even come out behind He might even come out behind Ryan. He has, and even DJ might be having a look because he's got a warmed up set of those tires. Ryan though might not have the pace. And here comes DJ. He's gonna look to make a beat here, and he hasn't made it slick. And well, Ryan has the DRS. He's gonna be looking for a move on Den, but Den just has that front light speed and the ERS.
The race leader is coming into the pits.
Kurabold pits. This will be interesting to see how far ahead of Yeast is. And there's a spin. One of the I think Flavio has spun going into the pits, but luckily it hasn't caused any drama like F1 Esports.
That's really interesting. Onto the softs, he's going to have to go 11 laps on those tyres. That is going to be a tough challenge for him.
Yeah, end of the stint. But yeah, Kurabold comes out way behind Randro.
4 seconds. Wow.
4 seconds. A second a lap gained, and Randro will be feeling very happy because he won't be dragging Kurabold along, but it just depends. Does Kurabold have the raw pace on those soft compound tyres to catch up to Randro? I believe he does. And I believe we'll have a very good final fight between these two about lap 20.
Yes, definitely. Oh, and Ryan's defending from DJ Boat. Oh, Ryan hasn't pitted. DJ has, I assume, recently. I don't know if... Wait, 7 laps? Oh, he pitted underneath the VSC, so he will have to pit again. No way those tyres make it to the end.
You never know. Ryan could be Marcel Jan in disguise.
The tyre whisperer.
There is tyre whisperer, but yeah, you never know. He could be seeing him pit again, or we could see him absolutely sit this stint out and just try and defend from the people behind him, or even just stick to DJ. At this point, if he just sticks to DJ, keeps the DRS with DJ, then he'll drag him along. Mr. Genya might not be able to catch, and it might be proficient for him to do that.
Yeah, not only that, we'll definitely have a risk of another safety car on this track, I think, so who knows? It might not be over yet.
I think Kurabold, if anyone, is going to be at an Ocean down at the back of the grid, gets a 3-second time penalty. That won't affect the standings that much. But I just looked and I thought I saw Ez in the pits again. I was about to make a comment on it, but obviously
yeah, he's stuck at the top of turn 3.
He's stuck at the top of turn 3. His AI is being ignorant and not letting him take back over. AI is taking over. But yeah, apart from Nitro and Den... Oh, sorry, Den has got past Nitro. I did just clock that. I was just thinking. Nitro and Den has got past him. He's looking to catch up Yeast with the 2-lap tyre advantage that he has. But
yeah, this is for the last step on the podium, but that's a hell of a gap to try and make up. He does have the tyre advantage, but eventually later in the race, just a 2-lap difference that will equalise towards the end of the race.
Speaking of, Kurabold has knocked that 4-second gap to 2.4 in 2 laps. Oh, that's why he's been cutting the track.
Now we have to hope that Randro gets a penalty, and this will be an even playing field once again.
Oh, imagine. I did think that said Randro for a second because they're both...
it's Flavio and Glenn getting penalties.
Guys, don't give us penalties at separate points to comment about. Just throw them all in at once and make us very confused. I think we had Glenn, Ocean, Kurabold, and Deddy! Yay! My favourite lap 2 to hard enjoyer. But no, yeah, Kurabold's still gaining about half a second per lap. This is going to be there a lot quicker than I expected. DJ now in the other Merc getting past, and oh my god, they're all... Why did we all wait to lap 16 to get time penalties, guys?
Yeah, lap 16, that's when we thought, hey, the rules are off, right? We could just break track limits. You know,
yeah, and
there must be something to do with the tyre wear. Let's be scientific. The tyre wear's reached a point. They're just not expecting it.
Flags.
And
he's keeping one of the Hasses behind in Glen. And I think the game has said, you're ignoring the yellow flags. You're not allowed to do that. And they've donked him with 5 seconds. If his race could get any worse. And it has.
On 6-lap fresher mediums, he'd just be able to pull away. But no, he's keeping Glenn behind, if that... and he's finally let him through. So he's got the message eventually. But unfortunately, he does have a penalty for it.
Blue flags, Mikey. That was an absolute throwback. But yeah, Kurabold is about to be in that 1 second gap. So we could have a real fight in... Okay, and Mr. Genya gets a 3 seconds, join the club.
As we say, if everyone has a penalty, no one does.
Fair. True, but the penalties will start to show an advantage for DJ, Den, Yeast, Martin, and Randro, who will all see the benefit when they cross the line, as now the ERS being burnt to the max for Kurabold to keep that DRS. Potentially, we could see a move into turn 3. He's only 3/10 off, burning the battery.
Yeah, if
Randro
I was Kurabold, I'd try and get past as soon as I can. Those tyres are not going to be fresh forever. He needs to take advantage of that tyre advantage as soon as possible and try and break the 1 second, get as far ahead as possible, and then save his ERS. I think it might be too little of a tyre gap for that, because 4 laps onto the softs, what is that, halfway through the lifespan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. So I think Randro will absolutely be able to stick to the back of him, save his ERS, and when he has the tyre advantage for the last few laps, go for a move and get the win.
He's got more than enough ERS. Kurabold is below 10. Randro at 78%. He is using, though, to just keep within that 1 second. And he'll keep saving when he's not. But Mr. Genia now, the next person to make a move onto Ryan. But Ryan keeping him out. He does force him wide, though. Bit of wheel banging between the two cars, as Ryan has fallen considerably behind Nitro. And that fight
and I think there was a bit of more contact, and he has to fall back.
He does have to fall back. But one thing I've noticed as well, the two Mercs are tagging each other along very nicely here. They are just giving themselves DRS, and they're looking for a very good finish. A P4 and P5 is an exceptional result for the constructors.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure if that'll beat out the 25 points that the leader will get, or 26 because he has the fastest lap, but I can't remember how many points he'll get, so you can probably do the maths on me for that. But still, let's just hope they don't hinder each other.
Well, fourth and fifth, it's 22.
Oh, so not enough, but still, very decent points gathering for them if they keep in this position and don't get any penalties.
Yeah, for two drivers who I'd say aren't looking to win the race, I'd say it's very good point scoring. I'd say they've done very well there, and they are switching positions to try and gain to Yeast, actually, and they've pulled away. More importantly, they've dropped Nitro with the 3-second penalty, so they can charge on now to Yeast. I don't think they need to be fighting as much, just trading positions down the straight to catch Yeast, and they'll be fine. But yeah, Randro's holding on very nicely here to the back of Kurabold within 4/10 on every straight, and Kurabold not really saving any ERS here. So when Randro looking for the move, he swings very far out, and he gets the move done well before turn 3, and he has given Kurabold DRS though, so Kurabold might just want to follow through and save some of his ERS, force Randro potentially to use some. Does he go for a move? No, he takes a smarter option of sitting back and just letting Randro try and push forward. But I think, as you mentioned, that is a mistake. I think Kurabold really should have been just trying to push forward, not concede the position at all, because ever so slowly his tyres degrade. Oh my god.
Yeah,
English.
They do. They degrade enough so that eventually they'll be equal, and by the end of the race, 6 lap, there are 5 laps left. He'll be on 11 lap old tyres at the end. Randro will be on 15 lap tyres. I don't know how that is in the lifespan of the mediums, but it will definitely be a disadvantage for the soft runners, definitely.
Yeah, I think about lap 22 I think it will start to balance out as Kurabold follows very nicely out of turn 1 here, and we could have another move on our hands. The two leaders swapping positions as Kurabold doesn't pull out, he just stays behind.
Yeah, he's saving. Just save the tyres, save the ERS, make sure that you don't make any more mistakes and get any more penalties, and he can just go for a move on the last lap. That might be his plan.
As long as he's behind on the last lap, as you mentioned, I think it's fine as Wuraman picks up a second 3-second penalty, and all of those drivers in that big penalty gap do have 3 seconds, so they are equaled out. Essentially, no one gains anything from 6th to 10th at the end of the line as it stands.
Jimsky, the Aston on the line, that is the glitch we had a couple seasons ago, where if someone disconnects during the BSC coming out of the pits, their AI will get stuck on the line.
Yeah, see? That is true.
Very cool.
And
he's using overtake, and I think he's going to run out of fuel based on the symbol that's showing.
Who's this?
Wes in P16.
I mean, I don't think it really matters.
No, it doesn't matter, but like,
it's quite funny.
0 lap old hards. He's moving. I should probably watch the fight at the front.
Yeah, he is, but yes, Kurabold not looking to make an impression again, and Ryan picks up a second. Now that will have a big impact. As it sits, that will move Glenn up to P8, as Ryan has an extra 3 seconds from what he has. But is the strategy, Seagull, from Kurabold here to sit behind to the last lap, and then with the ERS he's saving, make a big dive into turn 3 or 4 and just hold him behind?
Definitely, 100% that's his plan. It's his only strategy now. He's not got the tyres to pull away, so he just needs to try and hope that the softs don't pull off so much that he can't stay behind. He is pushing still, though. I wouldn't be taking this much risk. Being ahead might not be the way forward here. I'm not entirely... Yeah. Randro is using a lot of ERS to try and break it.
That's what I'd do. Try and break it. He has the... I'd say at this point, Randro has the tyre advantage. And if he can use and break away... Yeah, 6/10 already. So, Kuribold's going to have to watch that, I think. Because if Randro can break it, he's suddenly gone on a bit of a charge here. He suddenly said, right, it's time to lose Kuribold, get out of here. But he hasn't. He's just wasted 30% ERS here, and a big blow for Astral as he gets another 3 seconds here, and Deddy will just have to get 2/10 out of his tyres to get the final points position here. But suddenly, it's looking ERS advantage and potentially win advantage back to Kuribold.
You got to remember about his penalty though. He really has to... and Martin gets the penalty. That completes the great wall of penalties. And I don't even know how many people have, because I'm sure that's not just one times 3-second penalties. So that order from P6 all the way down to P15 will be changing for sure.
So Nitro and Mr. Genia have 3 seconds. Ryan has 6. Glenn has 3. Astral has 6. Deddy has 3. Wuraman has 6. Ocean, Martin, and Flavio all have 3, and Ryan then loses a position on track to Glenn, and I think Ryan might be looking to
he spun!
Oh, and he spun! Oh, big damage, but Ryan is able to get back on track.
Yeah, he managed to keep it out of the wall.
But, Glenn with his, I don't know, I didn't really see it that much, but if he spun him, second big mistake.
No, I think he just lost it on his own. He tucked in behind the slipstream with Glenn and may have just overdone it, getting back into position.
And well, at the front, Kuribold has made the move past him, but he has to pull 3 seconds in a lap. And I'm not a genius, Seagull, but that ain't happening. Ocean has retired in the pit lanes. I think he knew he wasn't getting points. But last lap, ladies and gentlemen, Randro hasn't got a penalty yet. He will just want to keep it on the track here, and he will get the win here, denying Yeast's championship charge that I don't think was ever really on.
No, you got to pretend it's on. It's more fun that way.
True. Will Randro get it on track though? I think for bragging rights,
he will want
it on track, and yeah, he does. Kuribold he is going to fight it. He does go side by side. There's a bit of a contact. I think Kuribold sticking his nose
he has
in,
the DRS. Do you think he's going to go for the dive? Will he risk that just because he's got the 3-second penalty? Nothing to lose.
He has to.
He will dive for it.
And Randro holds it around the outside. Contact now would be disastrous for Kuribold. He's still sticking it around the outside. This would be amazing side-by-side racing if there was no penalty. And they're keeping it side-by-side all the way through Sector 2 now. And Kuribold does get the move done. And on track, it'll be more than likely he takes the win today. But due to his 3-second penalty as they drive to the line, it's going to be a win for Randro on the track as Kuribold both weaving to the line. Randro takes P1, Kuribold takes P2. Very good battles from both of them up the front. Valiant effort on them, and Yeast unchallenged in P3. Brilliant race from him in the end to sit on the final step of the podium. Then we have the 2 Mercedes coming around the final corner. A good race for them in the constructors. They stuck with each other the whole way,
hit the wall
and they slammed the wall
through the checkered flag.
And then Nitro takes P6 from pitting very early onto the hards.
Mr. Genier with a fantastic race result. If you really think of how he started qualifying, DSQ all the way to P7.
Wait, Ryan spun before the line, I think.
No.
I think ironically, Ryan spun before the line, and
and he lost the place to Astral.
And Astral's got ahead of him. I don't want to say that was done on purpose, but I'm more convinced that was done on purpose.
Maybe just 2 points. What is that compared to 1 point? Who really cares if you're not fighting for the wins? Am I right? That's the champion's mindset.
I do not care. But can Flavio actually nab the fastest lap? I've seen him on the soft compound, and no, he can't. That will stick with Kuribold in P2, and well, what a race we had in Challenger. There was drama at the start, not really any at the end. Yeast as driver of the day, I'd have had it as Mr. Genia personally. Started from the back of the grid, and he made the comeback to P7. But wow, Seagull, what a race we had, and that surely has entertainment value.
I tell you what, if that is the kind of racing we got in IRL F1, I would be watching that 24/7. That was, you know, surprisingly extremely clean for the most part, especially when there were about 10 cars going through sector 2, not crashing into each other, not spinning people out. Incredibly clean, incredibly entertaining to watch. But it is Randro who takes the win. Kurbold, he made that that strategy work to the end, but you know, it wasn't enough. Just had to get that penalty.
Yeah, and he's going to be kicking himself, I guarantee, for getting that penalty. As I see Doom is on the sunbed watching this, so I hope he's enjoying his holiday whilst he's out there. But yeah, what a race all around. Randro Kurbold East on the podium, DJ and Den 4th and 5th. Nitro, very passive race from him in P6. Mr. Genya from the back of the grid, P7. Glenn, the big and dangerous rejoin in P8. Astral picks up 2 points in P9. Ryan, the reserve, in P10. Deddy, Wurman, Martin, Flavio, Ocean, and Wes all finish outside the points. And well, what a race we had. Hopefully Elite can do the same sort of value.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just save the race director for people that might need it for any reports. And oh my, there are a lot of reports.
Reports?
Oh,
already? Don't.
Warning, sorry. Incidents.
Oh. I was about to say, DJ and Dead just said the people back at the factory cooked. Mercedes when they actually receive upgrades. Am I right?
Actually make it through. But thanks for watching, everyone. I think this has been pretty entertaining. But up next, we've got the Elite race where I'll be driving, you'll be driving, and we'll see you then.
Cherry and P11. Woo!
Woo!